This video is my thoughts on what is love. So, just a teeny tiny subject. I used to think that love was affection. It was deep, positive emotions of connection and warmth with somebody. And while I think that is a part of what love is, it's not the whole thing in my mind anymore. Imagine that my wife and I are having a fight. There's no feelings of warmth necessarily going on at that moment, but my wife and I both very much love each other, despite the fact that fighting is occasionally a part of what our relationship is. So love is bigger than affection. In fact, love has room for all the emotions. Affection is an important part of love, but it's not the whole thing. In the same way that New York City is not just the Statue of Liberty. It's the Statue of Liberty and Central Park and Pizza Rat, It's a whole bunch of stuff, not just one thing. So what is love? Baby, don't hurt me. Sorry, I couldn't resist. What is love? In my opinion, love is actually noticing. Kind of a weird definition, but go with me. Maybe I'll convince you. Love is being aware of what's going on now and accepting what's going on now as sufficient and abundant. Let me give you an example of a situation that I don't love. Say I'm driving home after a long day of work. My dogs are barking. I just want to lay down in my recliner chair, drink a glass of wine, and watch way too many episodes of Brooklyn Nine-Nine. But as I'm peeling into my driveway, I see my neighbor walking up to me and obviously wanting to have a conversation. So I open the door and the neighbor starts talking about the zoning laws in the city. By the way, this is not something that actually happened. My neighbors are lovely. They're talking about city stuff and they're talking about the road construction. And I'm sitting here thinking, oh, my feet hurt and I want to go inside. I don't want to be talking right now. I want my glass of wine and my Brooklyn Nine-Nine. So what's going on in that situation? I'm turning my attention away from what's going on, the talking. I'm imagining a better situation in the future that's different from this one, my wine. And overall, I'm just wishing this situation was different. And let me add here, I don't mean to moralize about anything I'm saying about love. This is a judgment-free zone. I'm just talking about how things seem to me. So that was a situation that I wouldn't love. But it turns out that I personally can spend just about every moment of my life doing something kind of like this. Say I'm in my ideal situation, watching my Brookie Brook. Maybe my back hurts a little bit. So I'm kind of spending a lot of energy thinking, I wish my back didn't hurt. Or I've drained the wine and I want more. But I'm thinking, I really don't want to get up. I would love another glass of wine. So in that moment, I'm kind of obsessing a little bit about what I have or don't have in the moment rather than being there. And so rather than being present, I'm off kind of doing some accounting somewhere in La La Land. The reality of the fact is there are a lot of things we need and don't have. And there are a lot of things about the present situation that could be better. But what I'm noticing in a baby kind of way is that the more time I spend noticing, the more I start to have something that feels more important to me than the things that I thought I needed. And those things that I'm getting out of the noticing and being present, in addition to feeling better than what I thought I needed, they also feel like something that literally couldn't be taken away from me. Now that's kind of abstract. I'm not sure if I could go any further in that, but that seems to be a quality that comes out of me noticing more and more. And so what I get from all this is that in the same way as needs, the things I feel like I need, get in the way of me noticing what's actually going on. My needs get in the way of love. I think many people, in some ways, view love as a kind of attachment. Like, I can't live without this woman. But I think the reality of love is that love comes more from a posture of openness than a posture of grasping and needing something from someone. I think as long as I need something from someone in a relationship, that relationship and that person becomes objectified. That person becomes a means to getting something that's important to me. And so all of a sudden, I'm not relating to or enjoying the actual person in front of me. In some ways, I'm more relating to the feelings they give me. And so my focus is a little bit more on feeling a certain way than on experiencing this actual person that's here. Now, I think when I no longer need something from you, some things start to change in a big way in a relationship. I begin to not need you to make me feel a certain way. I don't need to change you anymore. I accept you just the way you are. And as a result of that, I think you start to feel accepted. You feel engaged with directly. You feel appreciated, noticed, and loved. So I think there's a series of things that start happening as you notice a little bit more. First off, noticing starts to melt away your needs, things that you felt like you had to have. Think of your needs as, maybe clouds in the sky, and the sky is, the reality behind it. As you notice, those clouds start to kind of disperse. And as that clearing and dispersion happens, it starts to reveal, in my opinion, something that is way better than the stuff that I thought I needed. And that quality is always there and feels like something that couldn't be taken away from me. And I think what happens out of that noticing is that it allows you to start to connect to the person and situation that's actually there directly. So I'm not relating or connecting anymore to my ideas about the person or the situation, but I'm interacting with them. And I think that's what love is.